everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Tongi Talk, where we highlight USD 464 news, curriculum, initiatives, and celebrations to keep you connected. I'm Becky Nieselrode, Director of Communication and Engagement.
And I'm Brandy Taylor, Director of School Improvement Services.
Whether you're a student, parent, staff member, or proud supporter of USD 464, thank you for joining us. Our special guest today is Assistant Superintendent Tanya Phillips, who has been with the district for 17 years. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
She is here to talk to us all about our strategic plan and how this affects our accreditation. But first, a bit of a celebration.
One of the best parts of my job is getting to honor fabulous teachers. And we have some really amazing teachers in our district.
We do.
So we awarded a few awards here in the past couple weeks. For the Horizon Award, we have nominated Casey Overdick, and she is the high school ag teacher.
Whoop, whoop.
And for Kansas Teacher of the Year, elementary level, we have nominated Mr. Phil Bryce, Tonganoxie Elementary physical education teacher. And for our Kansas Teacher of the Year secondary teacher, Stacy Emmett for Tonganoxie High School math.
Whoop, whoop.
All amazing teachers.
Excellent. So what's the next step for them?
They will move on to the regional competition and eventually state competition, hopefully. And past that, maybe National Teacher of the Year.
Awesome.
Ooh.
Wow. Yeah. Congratulations to all of those teachers. Very deserving. We are super lucky to have them, and we are excited to see how they do. The other thing that Tanya is going to talk about today is our strategic plan. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. Every district strives to have a strategic plan. And we had a strategic plan in the district for a while that expired about in 2023. And so we spent a year working on our new strategic plan. We held forums, we did surveys, we did a lot of research and had a lot of data. And what we came up with, we sent to production in fall of 2024. So it's just over a year old. We have our new strategic plan that really lays out our strategic vision for the district and where we want to be over the next 5 years.
With a lot of input from the community, it sounds like, and our students even, which is awesome.
Yes, students, staff, and the community got to participate in this process.
Excellent. So this is something that's required by KSDE, right? This is part of the accreditation process.
It really is. If you have a strategic plan, it really puts you ahead of the game in developing your accreditation plan. And so by having our strategic plan already in place, we were really ahead of the game as far as accreditation goes.
Excellent. So can you tell us more about the content of the strategic plan? What is its foundation?
So the foundations of the strategic plan are really listed out in our vision for the district. And we have 4 pillars that really define where we're going over the next 5 years. Everything we do in the district really links back to these 4 pillars. The first pillar is student excellence and accountability. This is how we prepare every student for success in life and career through rigorous instruction, skill development, and engagement. Our second pillar, it revolves around people and culture. So we foster a collaborative and exceptional environment where each employee is valued and supported. Our third pillar is family and community collaboration. This means we elevate student achievement and well-being through collaboration and active partnerships with families and the community. And finally, our fourth pillar is resources and services. We maximize resources and services through strategic investment, innovative practices, and continuous improvement to strengthen the school community and advance student achievement.
So nothing we do in USD 464 is outside of these pillars.
No, everything we do really contributes to the strategic vision and all of our 4 pillars. And that's our goal over the next 5 years.
Excellent. So can you tell us how this is tied to our accreditation? I know you spoke to it earlier, but just can you go into more depth about how they kind of work together?
Yes, it leads perfectly to our accreditation. The accreditation in Kansas has changed several times over the past several years. There used to be a 5-year plan where you would implement things over 5 years and then achieve your accreditation status at the end of the 5 years. But recently that has changed to a 1-year process where we have an action plan. We put that plan into place and then we monitor how that plan's going. And then the next year we start all over again.
So districts are becoming reaccredited every single year?
Yes, every single year.
Okay.
So as part of this process, of course, we did our needs assessment. It really worked with our strategic plan because we'd done our needs assessment through that process. And so when we looked at our foundation and we figured out which fundamental we were going to, set our goals around. Quality instruction was the fundamental that we selected, and our focus was professional learning, helping our teachers improve and get better so that they can help our students in turn become successful students.
Excellent. So our strategic plan, you said it was submitted last fall. Is that right?
Early last spring.
Last spring. Okay. And it sounds like most districts, a lot of them, there's oftentimes different drafts being selected and revised and revisions happening, but that wasn't the case for us. Is that right?
That's right. We were so well prepared with our strategic plan in place and what we've already done to work toward that accreditation that our plan was approved on our first submission.
That's awesome. That's excellent.
Very cool.
Brandy, can you tell us a little bit about some of those fundamentals? Do you have anything to contribute as far as like the letters or how HIPS plays into our accreditation?
We did talk a little bit about letters in our last podcast, but this time we are going to specifically talk about the fact that our goal was to make sure that every teacher had letters access at the elementary level. We are well and away above. In fact, we just met our 6-month target, right?
Yes.
But then the other part of that is also ensuring that our teachers receive some professional development, which is one of the many hats that I wear, all around this idea of HIPS. HIPS, not the shaking part of our bodies, right? It is the HIPS, the high impact instructional strategies and practices. These are all something that I came here with in my back pocket. It was something that I had learned about through a lot of different professional development in my past, in my programs, from John Hattie. John Hattie is somebody who gave us the visible learning. He talks about 250 plus influences on student achievement. He did a ginormous, in the words of my son, meta research, where he took all of the research from everywhere in the world, put it together. We ended up with something like 800 million students worth of data. When he crunched that data, he really was able to focus in on what strategies and practices actually drive student achievement. And what he came up with is this giant list of 250 influences. And it's everything from like your average teacher effects to elaboration and organization. We talk about feedback in the classroom, technology with elementary students, effort, all of these different things. And then he gave them a label. He said, if this is going to show in our research that it is doing at least a year's worth of improvement, if a teacher is doing it, we're going to give that a blue. And so our guide here in Tonganoxie is, if it's not blue, we probably shouldn't be doing that. So some of the things that we talk about is lecture is wonderful. We love lecture, but lecture is not a blue in John Hattie. And so we try to make sure that our teachers are stopping and chunking and getting our students to talk and process that information, as opposed to just continuing on with an amazing lecture that maybe not everybody's paying attention to. So John Hattie's just giving us a whole bunch of information so that we can take that into our classrooms.
So it sounds like we really are trying to encourage our students to be engaged in their learning and taking some ownership over it as well.
100%. And that is what's going to drive the change. That's going to lead to greater achievement. And these practices and strategies that we talk about, like every single professional development that we've had, that fits into our pillars, it fits into our strategic plan. Letters is supported by all of these practices as well. So everything we do fits into these pillars.
Excellent, excellent. So what's our next? You said districts become accredited, you have to reaccredit themselves every year. So what is the next step for USD 464 in that process? What does that look like for us?
Okay, so we just had our 6-month visit, and we have hit all of our 6-month targets. Mm-hmm. So we are right on track for where we need to be. We'll have our next school improvement day in February, and this is where we will meet with other like districts. We will present our plan and how we've done to those districts. We will be evaluated by the Kansas State Department of Education, and then we will be issued our accreditation status. Mm-hmm. And since we are already on track with our 6-month goals have been hit, we will absolutely hit our 1-year mm-hmm. targets and be ready to move on to our next action plan for next year.
So it sounds like we are well on our way.
Yes. Absolutely.
Awesome. We're going to close today's episode with a new segment of Tongi Talk Student Shoutouts.
Yeah. Who remembers, like, you wake up in the morning, it's your birthday, and maybe they're going to say your name on the radio. Yeah?
Yes, no? Yes. Or the news.
Or the news. Maybe it'll scroll across.
Yeah. Or Romper Room.
What?
Yes.
I just dated myself.
Shout out to Romper Room.
Yeah, Romper Room.
The student shout out segment will feature shout outs to current Tonganoxie students in any grade, any building. And our first shout outs for this segment are Zen and Wells Swinson.
Yay. Hi, Zen. Hi, Wells.
Hey guys.
Hi, Zen. Hi, Wells.
If you would like your child to get a shout out on Tongy Talk, please send us an email at socials@tong464.org.
Thanks for joining us today, everyone.
Thank you so much.